Hello there, and welcome to my Bloons Tower Defense 5 channel. I'm Italian Ninja, and this is where I make attempts at defeating challenges I've set out for myself, make progress, and learn to get better at this game, and subsequently, life. If you enjoy this type of stuff, feel free to subscribe. If you comment, I'll shout you out. And today we are working on, as you know, or if you don't know, what I do in this series here is I try to beat Monkey Lane on Impoppable. And we are starting out here today with, I guess I'll shout out the people who actually made some comments, but first here, what I'll do is for some of the new viewers, I should kind of explain how I kind of do some of this. So, yeah, I guess I'll just go over the start for real quick. I normally go Ninja Monkey, and then obviously I put Attack Shooter above him, and then to the right, which usually put it at the extent to the other end of the lane, or the other, closest to the other lane on the other side, is I put a Monkey Apprentice, or a Mage. And then I don't know why the hell I just deleted him right there. I must have messed up my placement or something like that. Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of. That's why I would have removed him. But anyway, I'll let the video play on there for a little bit, and then I'll give you the shout outs, and then we'll go from there. I already broke my my words where I said I was going to put up 3 videos this week, but you know what? I'll make it up to you guys, because I'll do 6 over the next couple weeks, which, probably 1 a day for the next little while, because I have a bunch of videos saved up here that I just need to comment over. So, the commenting side, this is interesting for anybody who makes YouTube content or is just interested in this type of stuff in general, is, I've adapted my strategy. What I used to do was I used to play this game. So I'd be putting down all these units and everything. My monkey engineer that I'm putting down right now, currently in the video, I'd be putting all these units down while trying to talk. And it kind of got a little bit, I guess, overwhelming and difficult, because you're trying to tell stories. Well, that's generally what I try to do. I try to tell stories and try to talk about things, not just the game. And it gets kind of difficult. So what I've done now is my phone doesn't actually have a ton of memory on it, but what I've been doing is making these videos as I play this game independently. I delete the ones that don't really work, and then the ones that do work, these are the ones that we get to watch. So we're going to watch these together. I'll analyze them a little bit, and then I'll give you guys some of the strategies that I've figured out. I'll read the comments, and that's kind of how my channel goes. It's pretty simple. Pretty much just me talking over this game, playing in mainly the same level, but I have some good news for you guys, but I'm not going to tell you just yet. I'm going to get a couple videos back into getting into the rhythm of things here, and then we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go with my first shout out here, which is actually just a comment. It's from I'm with Milk. And what does it say? YouTube really doesn't like it when you have a schedule and abandon it. That does seem to be true. Like, I had a really good pace going on probably before Christmas there. I think probably about a week before the Christmas break. So it would have been December, say, 18th or so. I had a real good run coming up to Christmas where my content was appearing to really blow up fast, and I was gaining a lot of subscribers per day. And I think the reason that was I was just posting every single day at pretty much the same time. I found out pretty quick that the best time to upload was about 8 a.m. And that wasn't through anybody telling me. It just trial and error. You'd post a video at 11, you'd post a video at, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, maybe, 3 o'clock in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. And it's like, the ones that were put out at 8 a.m. or roughly 8 a.m. because you kind of test, if you guys know anything about math, it's like, you're testing limits, and you approach something from one side. So you start at noon, go to 11 a.m., 10 a.m., 9 a.m., And when you notice the videos do best in that first like couple hours, it's kind of like, well, after that, like you're kind of getting into more long-term stuff, not just couple hours, I'd say that I would break down the time periods into like, you know, just posted, which would be like 6 hours and less. And then like less than maybe 3 days is like new. And this changes depending on the person, right? And how much they upload. But then I'm not going to say anything older than 3 days is like old, but from 3 days to like a month is like a medium amount of time. And then it's like anything older than that, it's like, 6 months is definitely starting to seem old. A year is definitely starting to seem old. It's just, I think that if I had to guess, I think that people's, likeliness to click on a video decreases the longer it goes on. Like if you look down on the side and it says that the video was posted like 9 years ago, unless it's a music video, you're probably going to be like, not really too excited about that. If you're looking at a Bloons Tower Defense 1 video, Bloons Tower Defense 1, this is Bloons Tower Defense 5. So if it was Bloons Tower Defense 1 and it said that the video was from 7 years ago, what's the likelihood that somebody would watch it? But if it does say Bloons Tower Defense 1 and I posted it yesterday, you know what, guys? We might have to do a test. I don't even have Bloons Tower Defense 1 downloaded. But I don't know. Coming up to a big thing here. So, anyway, that's one of the... I'm with Milk actually said a lot here. He said, psychology of Hitler and his impact in the world, a genuinely interesting topic, but one thing that people often don't focus on is effects they were exponential. They took time to actually spread, and the reason he ended up with so much influence is because of his strong authoritarian personality and special focus. Fire stuck with other authoritarian people, leading to a social snowball. I don't know if I'd necessarily say exponential, but they definitely did snowball. Like, it follows that pattern, which I definitely agree with. I think that it exploded very quickly. The whole idea of, I guess, fascism and what was going on there with Hitler, and it's obviously it's not good, but it wasn't like the guy was dumb, like I feel like for most of my life I actually considered the guy to be like an idiot. I was like, well, how did somebody have such a stupid idea and then they got so far? And it's like other people didn't necessarily think that his idea was that stupid. So other people believed it, and maybe they had the rightful reasons to believe it. It's kind of a scary thought, but the situations in the world can exist where you might do something that you think is right and the results don't actually turn out to tell you the reality of the situation until years or decades later. So, Jeff Bezos has this idea. I was listening to it on a Lex Friedman podcast. Jeff Bezos and Lex Friedman were shooting the shit. And one of the things that they actually discussed was this idea about two-way decisions or one-way decisions. And there's some decisions that you're going to make that you can only make them one way. Once you walk through that door, you can't walk back out the door and change the decision. So, he talks about like being very careful about making certain decisions. And then there's other decisions that you can make that, you could walk back into the door and change the decision, and it doesn't change too much of the outcome long term. And that, I think, is just an interesting concept for evaluating which decisions are most important and which ones aren't. Right? Because if you can make a decision in the moment, but then change it the next day and, maybe make an improvement on it, well, it's obviously not a one-way decision. It's a two-way decision. But, something like, for example, like getting married or purchasing, like in Amazon's case, say purchasing a second headquarters, right? That was a big thing for Amazon. It's like, that's a one-way decision, I mean, you can gather two-way decision would be gathering information, right? Getting everybody in the world to submit, I guess everybody, all of the major cities of the world submitting competing packages that are trying to entice Amazon's headquarters to come to where they were. Pretty much every city in the world would love to have a company like Amazon around because they provide like stable and good jobs for people, right? Which is kind of the basis of a lot of economic structures, right? You need to have working people, and like once you have working people in that area, well, then you get families that show up, then schools show up, and then restaurants show up. Uh, a lot of this is something that's really interesting for you guys to think about. Any of you business-minded folks out there because this is exactly like this is pretty much how I think. But it's like most positions, most jobs are service jobs, right? Like there's a good chance that a job is a service job. Uh, and what are they supporting usually? Everybody supports each other, but usually at the end of the day, there is something major that holds an economy together in a community, and that is usually manufacturing type of stuff, right? Generally. 1 second here. Sorry about that. Heard somebody yelling in my house, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was okay. So, gonna move on here. Oh man, friggin' I'm with Milk's comment. He commented a lot today. I don't know if I'm gonna read it all, but kind of a fun fact: a lot of soldiers had the option to opt out of these horrible events. Certainly not all, though. A decent chunk were threatened into it. But those who had the option to not perform these horrid actions ended up living completely fine or with mental issues, which is not much like other evil leaders. Oh yeah. I mean, definitely some were threatened into it. Some of them did it willingly. And 1 second. This might have been a bad idea to make this video right now with all the people. It's just my dad in the background, pretty much. I don't know if anybody could hear that, but it's my dad in the background yelling at my mom, talking to her about food because he's hungry. So, fun fact for Italian Ninja, now that he's making videos inside of his house and that his family knows, now you might get some shit like that in the background. I actually think that my dad's actually a pretty funny character, and I think you guys would like him, but I'll work into doing stuff like that because it is actually pretty funny just to hear his opinions and perspectives on things. So I wouldn't mind, and I would love to work into doing something like a podcast one day, or something approximating a podcast, because I don't know, I tend to get annoyed with super structured things which require extreme discipline. So long-term commitments, like committing to do a podcast for the rest of my life just seems quite like a lot. But I mean, if you enjoy stuff, which like I enjoy making this, I enjoy talking and chatting with people and learning. So I mean, I don't see why something like podcasting doesn't suit someone like me and my personality. So I don't know, we'll see if that's in the cards in the future, but for right now, these videos are just going to be what I try to focus on and make stuff fun. Yeah, I'm not gonna go through the rest. You know what? I'm just gonna read through it quick. I'll speed read it for you. I'm with Milk. While MOAB maulers are great, they should be reserved for cases where you're very low on cash, as saving up for bigger towers is usually better. That said, it may be more beneficial to spam a few of them instead of getting Apache, as they work incredibly well with Monkey Town compared to Apache. Sacrificing DPs for extra cash, but I give that a test drive. DPs, what is? I don't know what. DPs. What the hell is he talking about? Bloon, not DP would not be a balloon chipper. I don't know exactly what you're getting at. DPs. I'll probably figure it out in a second. I just, off the top of my head, I can't think of what the hell that acronym is for. Apache Darship? No. Derp? No, that's not Darship. Anyway, to continue the comment, if you either get greedy and go for a Monkey Town as soon as you possibly could, or go for the double Apache play, then I think you just about win. Just need some extra defense as the back for group balloons. You are correct. I'm with Milk. You're gonna really follow along for the next week or couple weeks. I know that you said you have a notification bell on, I think. So you're going to really enjoy the stuff that's coming because something happens that you'll like. And a lot of it actually has to do with, well, your comments and Nick Van's comments. So I do want to say, man, thanks for, placing the comments that you guys do. Thank you for watching. And, we're not done the video yet, but I just want to, express my gratitude to you guys for, being here and listening. So the next person, I'll finish reading it here quick. If you either get greedy and go for Monkey Town as soon as you possibly could for the double Apache play, okay, and I think you just about win. Well, you're a beginner at this game. It's important to mention the game is not balanced around Impoppable initially, and it is a massive spike in difficulty. However, the reason getting all the medals is possible is because of banana farms. A lot of maps would be impossible on Impoppable without banana farms, and with the community naps frills rule set, the map tar pits is impossible on hard, which would technically make this game harder than any other entry. What? Oh, I minimized the comment there. I should actually take a second here and explain what's going on in my video. So usually by 77, I just make sure that I have 3 balloon chippers that are upgraded all the way to the 4th tier on the highest, on the upper section, like set of rungs. You know what I mean? That's usually what I try to focus on. And then what I've been implementing are the MOAB maulers, which are very, very useful at getting rid of of helping out with area of attacks. So if you have like multiple MOABs coming down in the path at the same time, if you throw a bunch of those down, then it kind of damages them all at once. So you don't just which is and I'll tell you why that's useful. It's primarily to thin out the MOABs coming down, right? It's like you'll have some units that all they're there to do is pretty much just thin out the rounds, and then you have some that are pretty much there to just kind of clean up the last couple of balloons or whatever it is. And I mean, the balloon chippers are pretty good at doing that themselves. It's just kind of cleaning up lower minimum balloons, like I guess low level, easy to defeat, like red and blue balloons, regular balloons, right? Those are probably like not too big of a deal for most things, but you'd rather have your balloon chippers focus on the MOABs while you have something like a ninja monkey or your monkey apprentice with lightning bolt destroy those. Like it just, because they just pop, they're just super simple to get rid of, right? So you look at like what's going on with my setup right now, and I'm starting to implement helis. Yeah, I'm not sure if I already have a Apache dirt ship. Shit, I didn't even notice that. So I have the Monkey Town, which this is something that I was working up to getting, was getting my Monkey Town, or my Monkey Village. No, it's Monkey Town. Getting my Monkey Town, and then getting my Apache dirt ship. And I'm not sure, I can't remember exactly how far I get to in this one, but you guys will see in a couple minutes here. But it's clearly working pretty well. So I'm just going to let this play for a second, and I'm going to read, do a couple more shoutouts and read a couple more comments here. I'm not exactly sure what the naps frill rule set is. I'm with milk, but I'm going to have to look into that a little bit. Banana farms are definitely something that I might have to get into using in the future. I don't necessarily want to do it for this. I think I'm close enough without it, but we'll work on it, like if it's something that I got to do to get through certain aspects, to get through parts of this game, then I'll do it, But I find collecting the balloons pretty annoying. So anyway, next shout out is Soul, my boy. He says, "Hey Ninja, what's up? I'm Soul. If you forgot about me, okay? Don't worry, Soul. I didn't forget about you. I'm the heart. You're the soul. Make sure you come back and watch, buddy. And comment. Let me know what you're thinking and how you're doing, buddy. Because I haven't talked to you or seen you in a while. So, I guess see ya. I don't actually know you, so the likelihood of me seeing you is very slim. So anyway, me being friendly. Nick Van, hey again, Ninja. The village does reduce the cost of the towers placed in its radius by 10%. I know you've been wondering about it for a while, so I wanted to clarify it for you. Thank you. Reduced cost of the towers reduced by 10%. Thank you very much. I think right now, so I got an Apache dart ship. I'm just going to go back to the game here for a second. I got an Apache dart ship. I got 2 of them. And it looks like I'm trying to build a 3rd one, which is pretty awesome. Yeah. So that's pretty nice with that. Oh, we're getting, I think we lose here. We must. So I get to level 83. And you know, the thing is like, if you look at it, so it's like we actually did pretty good. I'm just going to go back for a second and just pause it so I can kind of see. This is actually really useful for me to be able to do this, because now I can kind of look at the elements and like look at what failed, right? So popping power, if you look up along the right side, that's just mainly all, like, you could consider that MOAB pretty much done. It's not done exactly, but it would be done by the time it gets down that path if you just had like an Apache dart ship mount it down. I do have 15,000 points here, so I probably could have done something to actually correct this. But you know, it's a timing thing too, right? You're kind of in the moment. So I do need more MOAB popping, which, you know what, if you actually look at like how much MOAB popping I really have here, it's like I got my 3 balloon chippers with the super wide funnels on them, and then I have my 4 MOAB maulers, which is, I'll be honest, it's very minimal. You know, I do have a couple of Bloon Jitsu monkey ninjas, and I actually don't know, I don't have a second monkey apprentice up there. Usually I put a monkey apprentice above the second ninja monkey that I put there, but I have started my 3rd heli, which I don't, obviously I'm not gonna be able to get it to an Apache dart ship here, but that would have been pretty useful, right? Might have been able to finish this whole thing. But just so you know, Mr. I'm with Milk, in your comment here, you know, you said something about a couple of Apache dart ships and you probably just about win. You are right, because this is pretty close. Like, I am really close to winning. Now I'm not sure about level 84 going into 85, but level 3 going into 84, you are correct. So we will see how that goes. I'm just gonna finish, I'm just gonna pause it here. I hate that. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it here quick. I'm just gonna run through Nick Van's comment for anybody else listening out there. These guys are pretty useful at helping, for any of the new people out there. These guys are pretty useful at, you know, giving me tips for what it is. And if you guys have any tips, you know, feel free to leave them, and I'll see if I can implement them if I can, you know. So the way the algorithm works is by having consistent uploads during peak watch hours will bump up you noticeably in people's recommend feed. Stick to your 3-a-week schedule and upload when it suits you. Your growth will come from interest in you and your progress. I do have a question though. Once you beat round 85, what's next? 85 on the next map? You know, Nick, that's an interesting question, man. You know, because I've been thinking about this, and I think what I would like to do is, yeah, kind of just work my way up on different maps. If you guys have any suggestions for maps, you guys can let me know. The chances are I'm probably just going to move to the next one and just kind of work up from there. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to work on some other videos to try to bring in some new subscribers, and also try to like work out my thought process around like how to just beat, you know, say Monkey Lane on like easy or Monkey Lane on hard, and like what is absolutely necessary for that, and then maybe just walking people through some of the tips that I have for helping them with that. So that's kind of, you know, what I'm thinking about for next. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying some other modes like Apocalypse mode, or I think there's another mode there called Deflation. So I mean, like, I wouldn't mind messing around with that kind of stuff, but I mean, it's a good question, but you know, I'd like to ask you guys, what would you guys like to see? Because that's kind of what I was thinking. But what do you see, Nick Van? What do you think would compel people the most to watch? You know, if you have any suggestions, let me know. They're gonna continue his comment here. I had an idea while you were while seeing you carefully place your bomb tower at about 19 minutes. Let me look. We got the video right here. Why not get a stylus for your phone? Oh, dude, you friggin' nailed it. I definitely need to get a stylus, and I friggin' can stop at the dollar store pretty much at any point. So that's probably what I should do. I also want to get one. I want to get a software. I want to get a software too, so where I can draw on this and kind of draw lines so that I can almost like a. If you guys ever watch like NFL Sunday or anything like that, I don't watch a lot of that stuff anymore. But they have those guys who do like they draw lines on the screen and they go, see, if you see here, the line of scrimmage is here, and we're gonna watch as everybody starts to move and they go around and blah 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 blah, and that basically I could do color commentary for my games. That would pretty much be what it is. So I didn't even realize that that's kind of what it is. But so you know what, man, you actually nailed it, man. You're a smart guy, Nick. I can kind of tell. So you're thinking and you're a problem solver just like me. I'm kind of curious what you do. So I would like to take a guess, but I have a guess inside my head. I'm not gonna put it out in front of everybody, but I have a guess inside my head. Devo's freedom of choice is a good one. I actually got a quote for you guys, but I'll leave it in the next one instead of this one. Wacky music video to fit its release year too takes me back a bit. I think the generally believed concept of freedom of choice isn't quite what we have today. Like you said yourself, society and media have a lot of inputs that will to some extent determine how you choose or act or think, like seeing that big yellow M every 3 minutes on a drive between suburbs. Oh yeah, you nailed it, buddy. It's a way a company reinforces its presence, driving up its sales simply because of how reliable you can find one. There's a lot more I could say, but I do try to keep these short, though it doesn't always seem so. You're right, eh? It's funny, man, because even like for me, it's like I feel like what I try to do is actually keep the videos short, or as short as I can, and then here's me rambling on for an extra 5 minutes at the end of the video, reading your comments. But I'm enjoying it. So on to the actual game. Look at the amount of balloons you're facing is still overwhelming you quite a lot. In the later rounds, your MOAB defense is great, but once they pop, they're usually beyond the range of most of your defenses. You are correct. Instead of spending money on the frag upgrade for your MOAB maulers, save that money for other towers to quell in the flood of rubber. Maybe a couple more engineers towards the top of the right of the map would help if you sit outside the range of your monkey village. I think, yeah, you're right about that. Bloon trap goes a long way. Investing in 2 to 3 engineers is also very worthwhile. Perhaps another glue gunner up top too, since your first one can't hit anything beyond that initial bend, and it can't target the MOABs. Yeah, you're right. Don't tell me you already have a third Nick right under our noses. I spy a thickening plot. Well, I'm not gonna give it away just yet, but I got a couple of surprises. I'll let you know by I won't make you wait too long, Nick Van. But I'm gonna keep you in a little bit of suspense for at least a couple of videos. So anyway, my phone's running out of memory here, so I gotta have to let you guys go. I hope you guys enjoy your day, and we will talk soon. Bye. Oh no.